Hey guys, are you ready for a keto beef stew casserole, including keto potatoes? And it's a casserole, so we're gonna put a keto biscuit bottom under the casserole and then make some stew and put it on top. Let's get started. First thing you gotta do is get keto flour. If you don't have keto flour, just follow along and make a regular keto stew. Just fast forward. Look, I'm using Scotty's. Look it up online. I'm going to put the link to this Amazon link online. One bag makes a nice big 9x13 biscuit you're going to put in the bottom. And that's how we're going to do it. So follow the directions. I'm going to follow the directions here. And it's pretty easy. I'm going to use a paddle attachment right here. And in here, about 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast in there. A teaspoon of white sugar. Don't worry, the sugar is going to burn off. No problem, you ketoists like me. And 1 1/4 cups of very warm water. Let it sit 5-10 minutes. Let it proof up. I have it all ready to go in my KitchenAid. I got my paddle going. And I'm going to let it run. I'm going to pour this whole bag in here of this keto flour. And when you get keto flour, usually it doesn't come in a big thing and you got to use cups of it. It's just 1 serving per. That's the way they're doing it. But things will improve as the keto world gets smart. And we're going to just put it in. It's going to be a soft, wet dough. And we're going to let this rise just like regular bread, about an hour in that 200-degree oven. When it gets to 200, put it off. Nice and warm in there for a nice rise. And then we're going to go through all of the ingredients you need. Some of them might surprise you right after I say hello. For the stew, very easy. See? Boom. Garlic. Give me 2 cloves, mince it up. Boom. Medium yellow onion. Chop it up. Big pieces if you want. Beef chuck. Find it everywhere. You see the lines going through there? That's taste, baby. That's taste. 1-inch squares, cubes, whatever you want to call them, that's going to go in. Now, this is the keto alternative to white potatoes. It's a rutabaga. I'm telling you, we're going to cut about 6 ounces off of this piece, off of this baby. We're going to chop it into 1-inch cubes. We're going to stick it in here and simmer it for about an hour, maybe 2 hours until the meat gets soft. And this holds up. This is going to hold up just like the meat. And it's going to be like a potato. But it's keto. Come on, we found it. I did it. All right, there's that, right? We're gonna put a little bit of tomato paste in here. This little bit of tomato paste right here. I'll tell you how much. I'll show you when we cook. And 5 cups of beef bouillon. Beef broth, whatever you want. Carrots, okay. Bone of contention number 1. All right, everybody get it out of your system. You're going to put a couple of carrots in there. I got baby carrots because they're easy to chop up. You throw them in there. We're not going to use a lot, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 cup after they're chopped up. They're going to cook off nicely. It's going to have a glycemic index, right? It's going to register, but it's not going to be non-keto. It's going to be keto, so don't worry about it, all right? Just don't eat the whole bag when you're done, all right? Beautiful. Couple of bay leaves, a couple of teaspoons of thyme, and we're going to let that whole stew just cook together. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. All right, let's build this thing. Give me a large saucepan. Give me about 2 tablespoons of some high quality olive oil or avocado oil. And there's our beef chuck cut up like I promised. And just put it in there. Salt, pepper. You just want to brown it. You don't have to cook it all the way through. All right, still a little bit red. That's okay. It's going to be cooking more later. Just get it in a bowl. Get it out of there. I mean, come on. How good? Onion. Just a little bit more of this oil. Teaspoon of salt. A couple of turns. Pepper mill. You want to soften these onions. Here's my garlic. Grate away. Get one of these zesters. I always put the garlic in after the onions because the garlic will burn. Tablespoon tomato paste. That's a thickener. Make it 2. Get it in the tubes. Change your life. Tomato paste is going to get slightly off color, brown. That's what you want. Slightly. 2 or 3 minutes. There's your rutabaga. About 6 ounces. I mean, come on. Is that potatoes or what? Get it in there. Let it get acquainted. Mushrooms. Have them. Throw them in. If I said quarters, I was wrong. Changed my mind. Carrots. See, not many. Not many at all. If that's like 3/4 of a cup, it's a lot. Bay leaf. Thyme. Dry thyme. That's okay. Fresh thyme won't hold up. Not cooking an hour or whatever it's going to be, hour and a half. A teaspoon and a half. How's that? Get your bouillon ready. 5 cups. Broth. Get that stuff off the bottom. Scrape it. You do this about 2 minutes. And taste it for salt, which I will now. Tastes good. Not too much salt now. It's going to come down and intensify the salt flavor. Keto, can you believe it? Get that beef in there. See, it's a little red. It won't be when you're done, though. All right, that's it. Bring it to a boil. Simmer it down. And just wait until you can, like, easily put that fork through. Right? And then by then, our dough's going to be ready. Get a 9x13 plate, as I will show you. Put that dough down on the bottom. Bake it a little bit, just to give it some stability, and then pour this over it. I mean, come on. It's been an hour. My dough's been rising. Not bad for keto, right? Almost tripled in size. It's kind of sticky, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil on my hands. All right, that's better. And just move it into the corners. You don't have to move it up like you're making a freaking cheesecake. Just get it down on the bottom. Beautiful. All right, let that go 10-15. All right, that's out of the oven. See, it's just, here, if I can show you. Just a little bit brown around those edges, if you can see. And it puffed up a little bit. It's perfect. Now we want to poke some holes in it. That stew's going to go another half hour, so don't worry about the stew, okay? You know, you worry too much. Anyway, big fork. You have a big fork? Get some holes in there. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, I'm telling you. So let's put this back on 350, and my stew's still going. We'll come back when it's ready to put it on here and then bake it a little bit. How's that? Now this stew is almost ready. This has been going about 45 minutes now. Keto version of potatoes. See the rutabaga there? I mean, does that look like a potato? When I tasted it, it tastes exactly like a potato. When they start getting rounded and a little mealy looking, it's time to call the game. Now, what I did was I made a slurry out of some of this keto flour. See? Made a thick slurry. You don't even have to measure it. Just, you know, it'll be like a very thin pancake batter. This will thicken it up if you want to. Let's call it a couple of tablespoons. It's called a slurry that I'm adding here. Yeah, that's about 3 or 4. And we mix it up. Bring up the heat, because heat engages the thickening agent. All right, that stew is nice and thick. We're at 350 on the oven, and now we're just going to slotted spoon this over. Just take that juice. I call it juice. You could call it the soup or the broth. And make sure you get down to the bottom when you scoop this ladle down there, because it's good and thick down there. Look at that. Now we're going to put it in that 350 oven for a good 5 to 7 minutes and let everything kind of bake in. We have some of this stew broth left over. You can put that over the individual servings. I mean, get creative, man. Come on, do it. Do it. All right, I'll be right back. Look at the biscuit underneath. I told you. Keto stew right on top. There you have it. Keto stew. Built-in keto biscuit on the bottom. Stew casserole, if you will. Woo! Please remember, subscribe right there. Boom. And try this recipe. Chef Sells Crazy Cooking Show signing off. But I'll see you next time.